Everyone hear me? Good. Alrighty. Seriously, it is an absolute privilege to be in front of you guys today. It's been 4 years since I was in a similar position. I wasn't in this church, weren't quite as many students, where I was graduating. I was graduating my advanced diploma in business with the help of Ricky. And I remember the mixed feelings that were going through my head. I remember thinking, what's next? I've done the studies I needed to do. I haven't finished all the studies that I need to do, but I didn't know what was next. So Ricky, first I want to thank you for being a personal mentor of mine, professional mentor of mine, an influence in my life, and somebody who, just as he said in that speech, somebody who saw something in me that I didn't see. So can we all honor Ricky really quickly in our hands together? So Ricky's probably done a better job of introducing me than I ever will in my life. So a bit of a map between where I was, at the age of 18 or 19 when I was graduating the advanced diploma of business. So between school at the age of 17, I launched my own business. And that was actually with the help of Ricky as well. He gave me the idea for it. He just needed somebody to execute it. So when I started that business, it didn't have my identity, didn't really have any strength. Didn't have any courage in my mind to do the things that I did. But fast forward, I ended up selling that business at the age of 18 and moving into digital marketing. So I was a full-time employee between the age of 18 until very recently, actually, when I started another business full-time with my beautiful wife in the front row there. But I'm going to be honest with you. As I think leaders, we should be honest with each other. Because I've felt very lost over the years and very, very fearful. My identity actually used to be one thing. It used to be based on football, or soccer, as you guys might call it here in Australia. I lived and breathed it. That was my whole bread and butter growing up. I was an athlete when I was younger, and that was my whole identity up until the age of about 17. So I was actually given the opportunity when I was younger to go and trial for a team in the MLS called the Vancouver Whitecaps. I was given the opportunity by someone who he was a professional footballer. He believed in me. He saw something in me that I didn't see, but at the time I didn't believe him. I got to the point where a medical was booked, pretty much had the academy spot ready for me for the taking. It was just a risk assessment to see whether or not I was fit enough to go into the role. So I'd worked my entire life for one thing. My parents had paid all the money to get me to that one point of what I thought I had to be. And I never showed up to that medical that day. My anxiety paralyzed me to the point where I couldn't get out of bed. And now that was because my entire sense of self was built on who I was as a footballer, who I thought I was supposed to be in my life. And if I wasn't that, who really was I? I thought if I took that chance and I failed, then all of me was a failure. I didn't know who I was without the jersey. So obviously the stakes felt far too high to even try. So what did I do? I pivoted into comparison, as many of us often do. Some of you guys in this room might even feel that way right now as you're graduating. I spent years seeing people my age sign professional contracts. Real Madrid, Barcelona, see the young people coming through the ranks and thinking, why isn't that me? Why couldn't I end up at their finish line? And because I wasn't at their finish line, I felt like I was at the wrong start line. So I took myself out of football, didn't chase it at all. And so I pivoted into the business world. And that was where, with the help of Ricky, I was able to get my first step in the door with the advanced diploma of business. I was able to get into a full-time job. I was able to gain success in roles, manage budgets of millions of dollars each year, looking after some big companies and big names, speaking with people that I felt like I didn't deserve to be in the room with. But what I realized was I was just changing my jersey for another suit. That brought me a lot of comparison and anxiety. I said, if I can just do that, or I can just be better than that person, or better than that coworker, or better than the other person I graduated with, maybe then I can be someone. So I guess this takes me into a main message, and it's similar to one that Ricky shared just before, is opinions, markets, and business changes are all going to change. If your identity is a variable, then your peace of mind is also going to be a variable. Now, your identity must precede your activity. That's a concept that I learned from a great Christian speaker called Jamie Winship that I'd highly recommend you look into. See, you must know who you are before you can effectively do what you want to do. Now for me, I'm a Christian. I found my identity in God. I found that my value isn't a result of my work, it's the source of it. And that does not change if I have good or bad quarter in business. I know everyone doesn't share that same specific faith, and that's completely okay. The fixed point or the variable that you find yourself focusing on yourself rather than letting the world do it for you, that's a universal law of leadership. If you don't decide what your fixed point is, that can be your integrity, it can be your character, it can be the impact, it can be the people that you want to reach in this world. The world will hand you a fake identity, just as it did for me. One that operates through fear, comparison, and anxiety, because that's always where it ends up. Now, this past week, my wife and I have taken the biggest risk of our lives. We're going into business full-time, stepping away from my full-time job, taking a risk on myself. Now, the difference between me standing here and the 15-year-old footballer who couldn't get out of bed going to what I thought my destiny was, is I'm not doing this to become someone. I'm doing this because of who I already am. My wife and I, we aren't looking at others. We are running our own race and with our own start and finish line. Now, because my identity is placed in something that does not change, something that I've determined for myself, not something that the world has given to me, I'm finally free to lead with courage and not fear. So this brings me to my closing. Is that graduates, parents as well, believing in your kids, is that you have the tools. Your diplomas prove it. Everything that you've learned, and even Ricky as a mentor, has proven that you guys have the tools to do whatever you want in your life. You need to find your fixed point. My prayer is for you to find your fixed point to shape your identity, not the lies that this world will tell you, because it will give you a fake identity if you don't choose that for yourself. Now, the fixed point helped me to take huge risks over the past 18 months that have paid off. And I've even come back and I've started playing football again, which was a really tough thing for me over the last few years between the age of 15 to where I am now. I'll tell you this, don't work for approval. Just work from a place of purpose. Find that identity that you've chosen, not that the world has chosen for you, and you will live a life of